Hey guys and girls, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. I had a couple of questions that I've been trying to get to about cutting nut slots, first fret action. So we're going to do that today and follow along. Let's get to work. Remember, if you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe. Some of you may recognize this guitar. It was really the last thing that I wanted to do on this instrument, and I've been putting it off. Several people have asked about first fret action, and I'll tell you how you know that your first fret action. There's the measurement way, which you take on a guitar. I start with a 20 thousandths. If that isn't buzzing, it should just interfere with the string, which means the string is too high in the slot. And how we know that, we're tuned to E, you'll notice, and everything else is tuned up to pitch, correct? And G, you will notice, is dead on. And then when you hit G here, it's a little sharp. Shouldn't be. And that will affect the way the chord sounds when you finger a G chord. So what actually happens is when you pull down on that note, especially in the first 3 frets, you're actually pulling it out of tune because it's too tall here. Okay? So, yeah, we need to get it down. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this. Loosen the string. And I say this a million times. Go slowly and methodically, and don't try to cut too much out of that slot at one time. So I've got several files out here because you got different thicknesses of strings and different thicknesses of nut slots. So I believe this is a 53. We're going to use I might actually have something that's closer to 50. I don't know. Maybe not. Sometimes you can find a bass file, but no, it goes to 65. That's just too much. What we're going to use is the 46, and it will open that slot up just fine. Now I'm going to show you. Be careful, you don't want to bang into the tuner, and you certainly don't want the file to hit the fretboard. Now if you feel more comfortable, loosen all the strings and tape this up, but I've done this a million times, and I just loosen one string at a time. Start with the low E, and get in there, and you're going to just start to file it down. And how do you know that you're filing it? Because you can see all the little white stuff right there. And that's actually, this looks like a bone, but it's hard to tell with it out. As you're cutting, and let the file do the work. Don't press down on it. You're not grinding on a piece of metal. All we're trying to do is lower it down slightly. And you have to go level, and you also have to round off towards the headstock. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then tilt it down. And every once in a while, tilt the file and let it round out the hole. Now, I'm going to stop there. And then you measure again. And I may do this 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. If it's a brand new nut, you could do it quite a bit. Tune it back up to pitch. And then get your feeler gauge. It's it's just starting to tap on the feeler gauge. You see how quickly we cut that down. And some nuts, some composite materials are harder than bone or harder than ivory. They seem to cut quicker and cleaner. But it's important to be able to let the string roll over too. You don't want to cut it completely flat. You want the string to be able to move easily across that nut slot. Danger, danger, danger. If you go too far, you're going to start getting first fret buzzing. So that's why you go very, very slowly. This one didn't really need to go down that far. And I'm pretty certain we're going to be there right now. That's what you want to hear. Just the feeler gauge is just interfering with the string. Are there other ways to do it with gauges that you use up here to measure that are tilted in the radius of the board? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Absolutely. 100%. This is how I was taught. And I do use those gauges every once in a while when I'm starting with a blank nut. In other words, a square piece. It is not pre-cut. It is not pre-formed. You will start with that. And because you have to know about where you're going, because you don't have a previous nut to go off of and measure. You follow? I hope that makes a little sense. $20 is about as far as I'm willing to go. And if you hit that open string and it goes bzzz and it's buzzing on that first fret, you went too far in the nut slot. So we're tuned up to E. Still wants to be a little sharp, which is telling me it wants to go lower, but actually a little too sharp. Yeah, we gained some. Yeah, we gained quite a bit actually. It's closer. It's much closer. Remember, this is not a high-end guitar, but it was a whole cent sharp. Now it's just barely, and I'm sure the camera's picking up on that. Yep, we gained some. Say it was a Gibson, a Gibson Hummingbird. That's going to be still a little sharp always when you're pulling that string like that. You can go closer. You can keep trying to, okay, I want it to be perfect. But trust me when I tell you, if you go too far, you're going to wish you didn't, because that's going to be a whole other video, and you'll have to search on my website, my YouTube channel, how to fill in the nut slot if you go too far and bring it back up, or how to replace an entire nut. And you don't want to do that. It's almost dead on now. I'm sure the camera's picking up on that, right? And it's probably going to be even better when you pick it up. Get it in the camera here a little bit. See if I can get it in the camera. It's almost dead on. Come on, you. Stop that. See? Right on G. So that's the first one. That's really it. It's the same process for all of them. I'm not going to show you the entire video, but I'll do one more for the entire process. This guitar, we've already devoted a couple of videos to it. This is going to be a short video today. So we did the E. We're going to the A. And A is about a 36, I'm going to guess. And you want to have a file that, you know, mimics the gauge of the string. Same thing. It was not registering at all with the feeler gauge. So let's see if we can get a success out of this one. And remember, you don't want to file it that way or that way. You want to try to point right at the top of the headstock, slightly tilted towards the tuner. And remember, slowly, and let the weight of the file, don't jam down on it. Let the weight of the file kind of do the work for you. I had this guitar perfectly cleaned and prepped and everything, but yeah, it's okay. We'll blow off the dust. Get back up to pitch. Test it. You still have to go farther. It's not making any noise. It's not interfering with the string. The feeler gauge is not interfering with the string. The E is, but we just finished that one, so loosen it again. Sometimes you could do this several times. 36. Don't get overzealous. You think all that little powder is, oh, it's just a little bit of powder there. Yeah, well, that's what you're taking out of the nut slot. And believe me, you're talking about microns. That's it. Tune it up to pitch, and then you really want to bang on the string. You'll know if it's buzzing on that first fret. Wang, it'll start wanging on you. Dead on C. Dead on G. So that's how you cut nut slots. Now, I'm going to continue to do the rest of them. I hope I answered your question. There was a couple of you that were asking. It's that simple, but trust me when I tell you, if you start really getting after it, you're going to be sorry because you're going to go too far, and then when you hit that open note, the string will actually buzz on that first fret, and then you're going in the opposite direction. You have to build the slot back up and start all over again. And that's a completely different operation. It can be done. You don't necessarily have to replace the whole nut. If you've got one slot that's lower than all the rest and one string is buzzing open, it can be filled, but that's a different, I can even feel the difference. These strings are actually now down in the nut slots and level with the top of the nut. This one's sticking up. Even the wire ones you can feel. So let's Blackjack with 396 guitars. I hope I answered your questions about filing down nut slots and adjusting, final adjustment on them for your first fret action. All right, we'll talk soon. Like, subscribe, share. It helps me a lot. Thank you.